Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is June 13, 2023, and we are getting into the volume 116 of me answering your immigration related questions. As you can see, I have all your comments pulled up in front of me. Before beginning though, I'm gonna mention, as I mentioned in every video on this channel, I am not an immigration attorney. This is not a legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their visa bulletin. So let's start with the very first comment, and looks like YouTube did some kind of weird update. So instead of seeing your names, I now see the links for a handle, I guess. I don't know what it's called, but this one is from Sassy Diva. Sassy Diva, thank you very much for another comment. So Sassy Diva says, "Good day, I have a question. My priority date is February 11, 2014. I was wondering, is it current and how long before I get an interview? Documentary qualified August 31st, 2022. Thanks." Sassy Diva, I don't remember your preference category, but judging by what you have, priority date 2014 and documentarily qualified in 2022, let's take a look on the visa bulletin and maybe I can find it. I think, if I am correct, I think you might have been either F2B or F1, and I'm pretty sure you were F1, unmarried sons and daughters of US citizens. So let's see. You are February, your priority date is February 2014, and as of right now, for F1, the immigrant visa is becoming available for those people that have their priority dates in December 2014. So you're looking roughly at another 10 months from February to December. Roughly another 10 months of wait if you are in F1. But please, if I'm wrong, please submit a separate comment and let me know your priority date once again. And I'm sorry I'm making you do this once again, but I'll probably forget. I'm really bad with numbers. And your preference category. Charge it for everyone else. If you need the rough estimates, this is the three things that I need in order to come up with the rough estimates based on the visa bulletin. It is the preference category, it is the priority date, and it is the chargeability area. These three things I definitely need, and then if you let me know whether you were documentarily qualified or not, it would be helpful as well. All right, so Sassy Diva, you're looking roughly at another 10 months. Hopefully, it keeps on moving as it should be. We will see, we'll find out. The visa bulletin right now is acting really strange. The past month, maybe visa bulletin, there was absolutely no movement. It was copy paste. In June, we have seen some positive movement on some of the categories, and then no movement at all on others. So we will see. We will see in the next few months. But as of right now, you're looking at another 10 months. So let me put this here, and we're gonna move on to the next question from Munyamar Ijir. Sorry guys. Now I guess I won't be able to read your names out loud anymore because YouTube, I don't know why they did it. They kind of ruined it, but I'll do my best. So I'm not even gonna know your name. Okay. Hi there. I'm waiting for my priority date, which is 18th March 2018. I'd like to know, may I still apply for a student visa or will that affect my case? Munyamari Jir. That's an excellent question. Thank you for asking. I haven't had a question like this before on this channel. So absolutely not. It's not going to cause any problems whatsoever with your family reunification case. You can definitely apply for the student visa. In fact, I always recommend, if you are waiting for, and I don't know your preference category, so I can't tell you how long more you will be waiting for the immigrant visa to become available. But how nice it would be for everyone who is waiting for their family reunification cases, for their immigrant visas to become current, become available, while they're waiting for it, to have the ability to come to the United States of America, to see their family, to get to know, the country, the place where the family lives, all of these things, to kind of get a little bit of the introduction, before immigrating to the United States of America. I really hope that it's probably never going to happen, but similar to, there is a non-immigrant visa for spouses of US citizens called K3. I think US Congress, they need to implement a non-immigrant visa for people, for beneficiaries that have the I-130 petition that is open for them, that are waiting for the immigrant visa to become current, so that they can come here, see their family, see the country, get to know everything, you know, what is it called? The culturization or whatever. They have some kind of word for it, where you come from a different culture and you get familiarized with the new culture. It will be good for everyone. It will be good for the family. It will be good for, you know, the community. It's good for everybody. So yes, you can definitely apply for F1 visa. Now I want to give you a little bit of just in case, to keep in mind that because you do have the case open for immigration, all right, you have the immigration intent. Sometimes, in very, very rare cases, but in some very rare cases, the people that the consulates in these consulates, in the US embassies that take the interviews, they might use it as a reason to deny your non-immigrant visa request, because you have the immigration intention, because you have the immigration case open. Don't be too upset about it. And like I said, it's very, very rare cases, but it is possible. Keep that in mind. But no, it's not going to affect your I-130 at all. And I would definitely recommend for everyone who has an I-130 family reunification case, in the meantime, get the non-immigrant visa and come see your family. Okay, let's move on to the next one from Rolalsa CF9ZQ. Hello, my sister replied to me in March 2010 and the approval was in March 2012. How long I will wait? Wow, you know what is really interesting? It is really interesting that back in 2010 they were approving these cases, you know, for considering how long the wait is on these cases for brothers and sisters. That's the F4 category that we're talking about, in 2 years. Now they take much longer. But regardless, even if it was already approved by USCIS, now it was already transferred to the NVC, and you know the NVC most likely is waiting, you know, for the visa bulletin to become current, so that they can open the portal so that you can become documentarily qualified. So let's take a look at the visa bulletin, and we're gonna look at the graph. We're gonna start with the graph A. So April 2007 is roughly when you're looking on the availability of the immigrant visa. Is April 2007. So you are about pretty much exactly 3 years away from the availability of the immigrant visa. So now let's take a look at the graph B. And it is showing March 2008. So you're exactly 2 years away from the NVC portal opening up so that you can become documentarily qualified. Obviously, you still have, you know, about 2 years before the NVC portal is open and you can start your documentary qualification process. But I would still recommend doing your research. I have a video on this channel. It's called, and that goes for everyone who is not documentarily qualified yet. Check it out. It's called Documentarily Qualified. What does it mean? I think that's what it's called. Terrible. But basically in that video I show a real NVC portal that was already documentarily qualified, so you can see all the documents that you need to submit, all the fees that you need to pay, so that you can prepare, you know, even before your NVC portal opens up. And once it is open, you already have everything prepared, you upload it, you submit it, and that's it. You're just waiting for them to review it and hopefully approve everything. But yes, you're looking at roughly 3 more years for the availability of the immigrant visa, and roughly in 2 more years, you will have the full access to the NVC portal. Sorry, wrong one. There you go. Let's do this, and we're gonna move on to the next question from Amna Zubair 6427. Hey, I am exactly the same case as you explained. Filed as F2B, but not my petitioner has naturalized. Okay, so now the petitioner is naturalized, so you have an option to switch to the F1. I want to know, if I shift my category, will case be processed according to my priority date, that is March 2016, or it will go at the back of the queue and start from the beginning again? Great question. I didn't even address this in the video. So no, it will still be by the priority date, but keep in mind that switching, I have seen it cause a little bit of delay, not too long, like few months, but it does cause a delay. And also you're still gambling, because let's see, your priority date is in 2016. So if we look at the visa bulletin and look at the both categories, F1 is December 2014, F2B is September 2015. So that means, as of right now, F2B is doing better than F1. So for you, that means you really probably don't want to switch it. So if they offer you, as of right now, hey, do you want to switch to F1 because your petitioner was naturalized? As of right now, according to the visa bulletin, it's not a good idea because you're going to add extra, well, roughly about a year to your case. Why would you want to do that? So you definitely don't want to do that. But here's the thing. The thing is, it's a gamble because right now, F2B is better. But July visa bulletin comes, August visa bulletin comes, we are talking every month this thing updates. And sometimes they can switch and one can become better than the other, especially in the cases like this where people see that F2B is better than F1, so more people will stay in F2B, which will slow down F2B while speeding up the F1 because there is less people in F1 now because everybody is staying in F2B and don't want to switch in F1. When people see that the F1 is doing better, a lot of people are in F2B, they're like, okay, we have an option to switch to F1, let's switch to F1. So it really is a gamble. Honestly, right now, I would probably say, because there is such a big gap, I would say stay in F2B and don't switch to F1. Because if you switch to F1, let's see, you are in March 2016, and this is December 2014. So that's going to be roughly, so right now there is, let me calculate it exactly. So September 2015, December 2014. So December, January, plus 9 months. So roughly 10 months difference. So if you switch right now to F1, you're going to add roughly 10 months on top of your waiting for the availability of the immigrant visa. And that's not a good idea. But to answer your main question, no, it does not start from the beginning of a queue. It still goes from the priority date. Okay, let's move on to the next one from user KK8XU. YouTube ruined it. Why would you do that, YouTube? Okay, so user KK8XU says, hello, so unmarried daughter of a US citizen with priority date July 2016 who completed all NVC process and waiting for interview. Do we look at table 1, final action, or table 2? Great question. Thank you very much for asking. So if you are already documentarily qualified, which means approved by the NVC, then you don't need to look at the graph B, the table 2. Just look at the table 1, the graph A, which shows the availability of the immigrant visa. I mean, you can look at the graph A from the very beginning, from the date you start your case. As soon as you get the notice of action from USCIS saying, hey, we have received your I-130 petition, we have accepted it, we're processing it. The receipt date is this is the priority date, that is the receipt date. As soon as you get it, you can start looking at the graph A because it shows you when your immigrant visa is going to be available, so the long scale. And then, once your USCIS case is approved and your petition is sent to the NVC for further processing, and you logging in and there's nothing there, and you're like, okay, when can I start my documentary qualification process? To answer that question, you're looking at the graph B, and that will tell you when your NVC portal is going to be fully open to you. So let's take a look if I can make any, so unmarried daughter of US citizen with a priority date July 2016. So unmarried daughter of US citizen, I'm pretty sure over 21. That's why you're dealing with visa bulletin, because if she wasn't over 21, then it would be immediate relative category and you wouldn't be dealing with the visa bulletin at all. So July 2016 is going to be F1 category. So right now it is showing December 2014. So it is roughly, let's see, 1 year plus 7 months. So roughly about a year and 6-7 months away from the availability of the immigrant visa. So your interview is roughly a little bit more than that, because once the immigrant visa is available, then they schedule the interview, can take another few months for processing. Keep in mind, these are very rough estimates because Sometimes visa bulletin, it just, it tends to slow down quite often, and it's just part of the deal. That's why we have the backlog, because there's a limited availability of immigrant visas that's available, and there's always, every year, more I-130 applications than the available immigrant visas. All right, let's move on to the next one from Syed Hassan. Hi sir, I have a case of F4, so brothers and sisters of US citizens, priority date August 2006 and documentarily qualified in December 2020, Embassy Pakistan. When is the tentative date of interview? Okay, let's take a look. So August 2006, let's take a look, because that sounds a little bit August 2006. So your immigrant visa should already be available, and you were already documentarily qualified back in 2020. So you're waiting now quite some time. Let me tell you exactly how long you're waiting over the availability of the immigrant visa. So August 2006, and we have April 2007. So you are roughly, let's see, April, August, April, May, June, July. So roughly 9 months. So you're 9 months over. I think your interview is going to be scheduled like in the next few days, but it should be really, really around the corner, because in most cases, scheduling of the interview, it can take about 6 months, because of the scheduling at the U.S. Embassy. Once they see that the immigrant visa is available, they look at their schedule, next available appointment, and they schedule it. They can't send you the notice 30 days earlier than the interview is scheduled. So for example, if let's say your interview is scheduled, your interview is already scheduled. That's the thing. But let's say it is scheduled for example, August 1st. They won't be able to send you the notice earlier than July 1st, because they have to give you 30 days so that within those 30 days you go through the medical examination. That's the only reason why they can give you earlier. But what I recommend you do is you reach out to US Embassy in Pakistan, and I'll show you where to find that. So US Embassy. So this is the website you want to go to, usembassy.gov, and we're going to scroll down to Pakistan, and we will see, there we go, Pakistan. So there's a few embassies. I'm not sure, there's a few consulates and one embassy. I'm thinking you're most likely going to have your interview in the embassy in Islamabad. But again, it really depends on how they schedule, where they schedule. I don't know. If you live pretty close to Islamabad, and you know that this is where your interview is going to be, here is their phone number. Give them a call and tell them that, hey, my immigrant visa is already available. I'm already documentarily qualified. I'm just, want to find out when my appointment was scheduled for, if you can give me that information. Sometimes, in most cases, they say we can't give you that information. But in some cases, they look into the computer, and it's really easy for them. Because like I said, I am 99% positive that your interview is already scheduled. It's just not reached that 30-day mark. That's why they can tell you when is it. Give them a call, and maybe they will give you that information. Since I've seen some cases where they just look in the, in their scheduling system, and they're like, yeah, your interview was scheduled for, whatever date it was scheduled for. So give it a shot. And if they don't give it to you, don't be too upset. Like I said, it really should be now around the corner, because you are right there. Okay, let's move on. In fact, let me edit this, and I'm gonna give you the link for this page right here, so that you don't have to type it up and search for it. And let me copy this back, just this part, and we're gonna move on to the next one from Kimberly Martinez. Kimberly Martinez, thank you very much for becoming a member. I really, really appreciate it, and I'm really glad my advice was helpful to you. If you have any follow-up questions, like I said, don't hesitate to ask them here. And if anyone wants to support this channel, if my answers are helpful, my videos are helpful, please consider becoming a member on this channel. I really, really appreciate it. Alrighty, let's move on to the next question from Roy Manzano. Hi, I received reopen notice coming from USCIS last March 16, 2022. Until nothing response, almost 15 months. What next do to do. Thank you for answer. Okay, Roy, thank you very much for your question. So you received a reopen notice. So it means that your case, something happened with your case. It was either wrongfully denied, or maybe there was some kind of mistake. A lot of times when USCIS reopened the cases, they reopened the cases that were denied because of something really little, like the evidence was missing, there was some kind of mistake in the application, and they denied it based on that mistake or based on lack of evidence. And then it's a easy fix, because all you need to do is just provide additional evidence. So if they have reopened the case, it means that you have satisfied whatever problem that they had with your case, why they initially closed it. So that's good news. Not so good news though is that now it's kind of in the air, because it is a reopened case, and in most cases they really don't have a timeline for reopened cases on how long they take to process those cases. So here are a few things that you definitely want to do. First of all, you want to reach out to USCIS customer phone line, and you can find it, or you probably already know this, but I will show it for everybody else, where to find this phone number, because it's hiding in the USCIS.gov website, which is the official government website for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. So you scroll all the way down, and there is a big contact USCIS right here, and let's see if I can find it myself now. Let's see, submit, make, no, inquiries, learn, no, none of this stuff. Make inquiry based on type of request, submit feedback, visit US access report. Wow, so none of this stuff. USCIS contact center. Let's click on this one right here. Okay, that's better. Live assistance. That's it. Okay, there we go. So we found the phone number. So this toll-free number right here. I'm gonna copy it in my response. So give them a call. It's really hard to reach the live person through this phone number. I'm just being in advance. Keep that in mind. But it's possible. It is possible through like 5 different prompts. It is possible. Talk to the live representatives. All of these calls, all of these inquiries are documented. You definitely want to do that. Call first. You most likely you're not going to get any information from them whatsoever. That is completely fine. Do that. After you've done that, give them maybe a couple of weeks. After a couple of weeks, if nothing happens, which probably going to be the case, submit the case inquiry through USCIS website once again. So let me copy this right here so that I have it in a comment before I forget. So submit the inquiry. So now it's going to be you already called, and now it's going to be you already submitted electronic inquiry through, basically it's the email system. So they get it as an email. Most likely it's not going to do anything either. But what you are doing is you are building the foundation just in case if this becomes ridiculous to where, well, now it's becoming a little bit, depending on what kind of case it is. And if you want, you can come back to this channel and let me know in a separate comment what case it is, because depending on what kind of case it is and how long these cases take, let's say, for example, if we look at the normal case that wasn't denied and then reopened, let's say if it should have been already reviewed by now and yours is not reviewed, and obviously you give them some extra time because it was denied and it was reopened, 6 months should be enough for that. But still, you are over that and you called and you emailed and nothing's happening. If you need to take additional avenues in order to resolve this on your case, and I'm talking about hiring an immigration attorney, I'm talking about reaching out to elected officials to help you with your case, you already have your foundation. Yes, I tried to call them, I tried to resolve it directly with USCIS, and then I tried to email, again I tried to resolve it directly with USCIS, but they're not being helpful. So I'm reaching out now to you guys, congressman, senator, whoever, please help me out with this case. That's really why most of the times I tell people to call, email, be polite, be professional, but you do need to establish that foundation before you can reach out for additional help. Alrighty, let me put this and we're gonna move on to the next one from Supreme Being 30. Supreme Being, I know there used to be a crew, Supreme Beings, breakdancing crew. Alright, let me read the comment. Hi there, my priority date is December 5, 2017 and visa category is F11, Philippines. What is your estimate for this? Thanks for the useful information, appreciate you. You're very welcome. Thank you very much for your question. So priority date is December 5, 2017 and visa category is F11, which is subcategory of F1, which is F1, really the sons and daughters of US citizens who are unmarried and over 21. So Philippines, they have their own separate chargeability area. So let's take a look. We're going to look at the graph A's to see the whole length of the weight, the backlog for the availability of the immigrant visa. So F1 right now, Philippines, we're looking at March 2012 and you are in December 2017. So December 2017, March 2012. So we're looking roughly at, well, my math is horrible whenever it comes to month, so I'll just do years, around 5 years. Roughly around 5 years to wait for the availability of the immigrant visa. And then you are looking at, let's see, April 2015, December 2017. Okay, so you're looking at about 2 more years to wait for the NVC portal to fully open up so that you can start your documentary qualification process. So yes, I mean, it's a little bit early for you to start preparing for the documentary qualification process. I would say give it about another year and then start putting together all the documents from the petitioner. And again, I have a video on this channel that where I describe what is entailed completely in the documentary qualification process. Once you are closer to it, make sure to check it out so that you can prepare as much as possible. Because it makes it much easier, because if you have all your documents and you have the money put away to pay for all this affidavit of support, DS-260, and you know what to fill out, once it's open, you can take, in one day, you can upload it all, you can pay all the fees, you can submit everything in one day. And then that's it. You just wait for the approval. Once you're documentarily qualified, you just wait for the interview to come. Okay, let's move on to the next question from DR Cetin. Sorry if I'm probably mispronouncing the name. Hi sir, my name is DR. Chetin. Chetin. I'm pretty sure that's Chetin. Chetin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Chetin. DR Chetin. But if I'm mispronouncing, please let me know. I applied yesterday I-765 form as online. I don't have a middle name. When they asked me name, I typed middle name as none. Oh, I'm not even gonna read further. I already know what happened. They put it as none, your middle name, didn't they? After submitting I-765, I saw my USCIS account name was changed as DR None Chetin. Of course, I did wrong. I had to blank it, but I typed as none. Do you know how can I solve this problem? My USCIS account name was changed, DR None Chetin. This is not correct. Can you help me how I get solved it? Thank you so much. DR, sorry this happened to you. I'm very sorry. This is it's silly. It's silly because USCIS, they should know better. None. I'm 36 years old and I never heard anybody middle name none, okay? And it's just dumb. They should have known better. They should have asked you before doing it. But this is not the end of the world. This is definitely resolvable, so don't worry. I'm gonna say to everybody else who's watching this video, whenever it comes to paper applications, you have to fill all the blank spaces. You can't leave any blank spaces. In stuff like middle names and where they can confuse the word none with something being anything else, put not applicable, N/A. They can't confuse it, okay? Don't put none in middle name, put not applicable, N/A. But don't leave any blank spaces. Whenever it comes to online applications, however, that you fill online through USCIS online account, you don't need to worry about blank spaces. They are completely fine. Just leave them blank. You don't need to put not applicable. You don't need to put none. All right. Okay. Now, So what's most likely is going to happen, DR? You have a couple of options. One option you have is what I described to, who did I describe it to? To Roy Manzano. Reach out to the USCIS. I'll put the same link in my response here as well. Reach out to USCIS, tell them that there is a mistake in the application, tell them that you want to correct it. It's just a middle name, they just need to remove it. That's it. It's a really easy fix, all right? If they're not able to do that over the phone, and most likely they will tell you to fill out the cover letter and send it, a physical letter saying, hey guys, this is my, what is it called? The reference number. This is the application that I have submitted. Unfortunately, in the application, there is currently a mistake. Explain the situation, tell them what the correction needs to be, make sure you sign it, and then send it to USCIS. Over the phone, they will be able to tell you exactly which address you will need to send that letter to. But you should have that address on the initial notice of receipt. So notice of action, the very first, the receipt notice that you receive from USCIS, you will have their address where you need to send that cover letter with the correction request. The worst case scenario, and again, it's really not that terrible because I personally had a mistake and it was much worse than yours in my employment authorization document, is that you will receive your employment authorization document with mistake in it. And it's a temporary document. So if you're getting it, you know, there's a few different reasons why you're getting it, either, you know, asylum refugee or some kind of work visa or something along those lines. Regardless of the situation, it's a temporary document. You can always request the replacement, the correction, after you receive the physical card with the mistake, and it is free. They don't charge you anything for it. You can submit another application right after, and you will just mail the original back, and then they send you the new one. And there is actually a benefit of doing it this way. Why? Because if you request the correction, most likely, because of the administrative processing that they need, it will create a delay on your case. But if you don't, and they just send you the document, you use the document to show it to your employer. Hey guys, that's it. They sent it to me with a mistake, but here you go. I am authorized to work in the United States of America. You can scan it, and you have it for, you know, your employment purposes. Whoever requests it, if you need to apply for Social Security card with it, you can apply for Social Security card with it. Yes, it will be also with mistake, but at least you will have it, and that's it. You can work, and it's not going to delay anything. And then once you're done with all of that stuff, you can file another application for correction. Like I said, it's going to be free, and you will be able to send your incorrect one, and then you will get the correct one. I think this is a better route because you are not going to cause any potential delays on the case compared to requesting the correction, but give it a shot. You know, you just submitted the application, it's fresh, so it might not even cause any delays. So let me post this right here and post this right here as well. So thank you very much, guys, for today's questions. I'm gonna end the video on this note, and the rest of the comments that are received and the new comments I will address tomorrow in the next volume. Thank you very much as always for your questions, always appreciated. Hopefully my answers are helpful. God bless, and I'll see you all in the next video.